Hey Rip City, welcome into the Mailbag powered by MondoPad. I am Sarah Hecht, Casey Holdahl. We are here to answer you guys' questions as we are every couple weeks, so let's hop right in. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right,
let's
here
get
we
to those
go.
Questions.
This first one comes from Joe Yoder, and he says, according to my calculations, we will play the Rockets, Mavs, Golden State, the Suns, or the Grizz in the first round. Who's the toughest matchup?
I've been saying this for a bit. I think the Rockets are the toughest matchup for us, or for the Trailblazers, I guess I should say. Dwight Howard. That's true. We can talk in the universal we. Dwight Howard, obviously, a difficult matchup for the Trailblazers, especially for a guy like Robin, a little more athletic than Robin. So, and they have obviously shooters. They're a team that's not totally dissimilar from the Trailblazers. Obviously, Trailblazers take a lot of mid-range shots. The Rockets don't take hardly any mid-range shots. But just the way we've played the Rockets this season, their inside-out game, I don't think it's not a real good matchup for us. I would say, secondly, the Grizzlies, just because in that one game we have played the Grizzlies this year, assuming they're healthy, defensively, they just have the personnel to lock down the Trailblazers. And the Trailblazers, to win a playoff series, are going to need to score points. And obviously that sounds somewhat obvious, but since they're not a great defensive team, they're going to have to win with their offense. And against a team like Grizzlies, it's a very sound, disciplined defensive team.
I'm going to go ahead and add the Suns for the pure reason that they have been a bit of a kryptonite for the Trailblazers this season. But earlier, we filmed an Ask Rice where we got to talk with Mike Rice, and he actually brought up some good points about playoffs, so check that out too. And he had a really good point about the Suns and talking about the small ball that we've had to play as of late due to injury, and that might be a way to potentially beat the Suns now that we have had some success with it. So that's an interesting thought. Go ahead and watch Ask Rice. It's on YouTube and TBTV to get an answer on that. But I like all of your answers. I definitely agree. Yeah, Rockets, yikes. I would rather take Mavs. It's funny because
the Mavs are the only team I would feel good about playing that, and that's the thing about the Western Conference. It's going to be a hard matchup.
What's funny is that if you look at the top 4 teams, I would feel more comfortable playing San Antonio than some of even these teams.
Absolutely.
Even the Thunder, I feel more comfortable playing than some of these teams. So it's an interesting setup that we have right now.
There are no easy outs in the Western Conference.
Not at all in the West. All right, let's move on. We've got this question from Tremo, and he says, does the recent bench production earn them minutes?
Short answer, no. Because when the guys who are healthy come back, they're going to play again. Terry Stotts has been very adamant about that while it's great to have production from the bench and for these guys to be able to come in and hold their own and in some instances actually kind of forward what the Trailblazers are trying to do this season, he's been very honest that when those guys come back into the rotation, they're playing their regular minutes again and those other guys are going back to the bench. Now, I think, psychologically, I think you could say that maybe Terry feels a little more comfortable putting those guys out there, though he swears that he's always been confident in them. But actually seeing the guys go out and do it, I think, adds a little something to it. But we've talked about this a bit. Will Barton playing better, that's great, and we love seeing it. But when those guys are back and healthy, I think minutes are still going to be hard to come by.
Yeah, I would say that they have probably or potentially earned themselves more as an option when it comes to specific matchups.
Sure,
so maybe Terry now has more options when it comes to certain matchups that may be better with these guys because you have, like you said, more confidence in them, in seeing them play and really step up and patch together wins with guys missing. So that I would say would be more of a realistic expectation than actually seeing a guy earn minutes and rotation minutes, especially as we go into the stretch and things tighten down and that rotation could potentially be getting smaller, not necessarily larger.
Sure. And wins are wins, and you take them any way you get them. But you also need to remember the competition the Trailblazers have been playing this stretch since the All-Star break without LaMarcus in there have not been great teams and teams that are also struggling with injuries. And to take nothing away from those wins whatsoever, they've been great wins. Anytime you're able to win without your best player is to be thought well of. But doesn't necessarily mean that those bench minutes are going to transition over when playing some of the better teams in the NBA.
Absolutely. All right, and let's round out this edition with a question from John Blazer 6. He said, should LA rest until the road trip? It makes sense if we can beat easy teams without him.
No, he should not. He should come back when he is ready to play. It sounds like it might be as early as Saturday's game against the Nuggets. You could rest him for a little bit longer, but I don't think you can't assume they're going to be able to win games without LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, it's been great that they have been able to do that, but I don't think it's not the way you go about running a season. And two, LaMarcus has already been out for over 2 weeks now. He hasn't played since I don't count the All-Star game.
All-Star game
So,
played,
I mean, he
yeah.
hasn't played since the game before the All-Star game, which was against the Clippers. And that's been 2 weeks ago at this point now. So, I mean, if he's healthy and he's tested and he's ready to go, I think you get him back out there regardless of opponent.
Is there any difference of opinion if you have Myers Leonard and Joel Freeland at full strength and it's just LA?
No, I don't think so. For me, it's when a guy is healthy enough to play, he should play. And, hopefully he won't have an issue with it at all. And the way that they're bringing him back leads me to believe that they want to make sure that he's basically feeling no pain with it before he comes back in. So, you could rest him, I guess, but if he's not feeling pain anyways, then what's the point? Basically you're just keeping him out just as a precaution. He's going to have to get back in there sooner or later anyways.
Perfect. Good one. Thanks, guys, for being us for this edition of the Mailbag powered by MondoPad and InFocus. We will see you guys next time. You can always be sending in your questions using the hashtag TBMailbag or sending us an email at mailbag@trailblazers.com. We'll see you guys next time.